Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Newsflash, asshole! I've been hearing it the entire goddamn time!
Always a good time to headbang with Thin Lizzy. Welcome to the West of Waterford podcast. I'm Josh. We got Brittany.
Hey.
And we have Dee.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'll never be not a headbanger. That's amazing work on the intro.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, my friend. How is everybody this fine, warm evening? It's getting a little stuff in here, I think, because I think...
It's very fucking warm.
Yeah, and well, you look like you've been to the...
Bahamas, yes.
Some kind of island, Fire Island, possibly.
Well, since we can't leave the country, I might as well look the part.
Look the part. Gain a few pounds, maybe Simone.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It makes me think of the Simpsons episode where like, Marge, I'm worried about the boy. There's only
Great
two kinds of people.
Homer Simpson impression, by the way.
I'm
worried about the boy.
There's only two kinds of people. There's only two kinds of people that wear Hawaiian shirts. Big fat party animals, and.
I hope the pacing of the episode wasn't as bad as you remember it.
Wait, and what?
It was.
And
was like,
what? What's the second
Marge.
person?
I believe it's more
Did
like.
you say gay
Let me try this.
or homosexual?
Marge, only two types of guys wear.
Hawaiian
shit.
shirts.
Yeah, only two types of guys wear Hawaiian shirts.
Big fat party animals.
Gay guys and big fat party animals.
And I don't think
and
Bart's
Bart
a
doesn't
big-
look like a big fat party animal to me. And what was the other one? Was like, Bart, where'd you get that shirt? I don't know. Came out of the closet. Huh.
Okay, I'm
sorry.
I'm going to have to stop these horrible Simpsons impressions.
They are terrible. The Simpsons
Very
are the hardest. They're the hardest cartoons I think ever to like. I mean, for anybody to do a proper impression. The only one I can do half well is Kirk Van Houten and Krusty the Clown.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, it doesn't help that everybody hears it too. Like everybody knows what they sound like.
Well, and not to mention like what's her name that does Marge? She's like completely
Judy
shot.
Kavner.
Yeah, she's completely shot her voice. Like Marge does not sound the same. Like that's the type of voice that you just can't do for 30 years.
I mean, it's like the same thing with David Hayter, doing Snake for all those years.
Oh, really?
Just I can't imagine just the rough on
Yeah.
his the work on his throat doing that.
Yeah.
This is a SOCOM pistol. It's very useful with the SEAL Team 6.
Okay, you guys
These-
already had
just
your Metal
every-
Gear Solid episode.
We did.
Every
but
episode is a fucking Metal Gear Solid
This
episode.
is true.
Metal Gear.
How could you not? I don't know. Actually,
I mean, I'm a legitimate fan.
I
really am. Yeah.
I do want to make an addendum to the last time we spoke. We spoke about this on the former show, the Grey Area podcast. This is, of course,
Rest in
now.
peace.
Rest in peace. Rip.
Yeah, rip.
But
On to bigger and better things.
yes.
Right.
But
From SoundCloud to YouTube.
we hope if rendering will ever take place. But we were talking about. I want to make an addendum because I think I made it sound like I hated Metal Gear. I think I really, really respect Metal Gear now. I just don't.
What changed your mind?
I think I really understand like the storytelling elements are really, really good. There's some really great social commentary in there. I just don't know if I love the way it was presented. It's just like if you cut that thing down, you got a stellar game on the.
You know, like all the cinematic cutscenes that take up.
Well, the first game takes. I know the.
I mean, Kojima always has some sort of political commentary, but
and that's fine, but it's just he takes so long to talk about it.
Did you ever play Death Stranding?
oh yeah,
Oh, you did you?
That had a lot of controversy around it, as far as like it actually being a good game or
Really?
not.
I just thought it was. Yeah, that's what I heard. It was just shit. That's.
I liked it. I thought it was a good game.
Is there?
Well-
Speaking of games, we're playing Red Dead Redemption at the moment. Myself and Britt are kind of tag teaming.
the first game.
The original, yeah. You lent us the second one, and I could never get into it.
Did you even try?
Yes, I did. What do you mean? Did I try? Of course I tried. I think I got to the point where Arthur goes to the bar and he's trying to find the black lad around the bar somewhere, and he's just like,
Oh, yeah, his buddy, yeah.
and he's getting drunker and drunker, and then it's like there's
You-
like There's like a funny like cut in it. It's like it starts a fight and then it's like that drunken black. Then they're all just dancing together.
Yeah. Wow, that's really early in the game.
Yeah, but
No,
I
I
mean,
could.
That's really early.
I could probably get into it if I tried it again.
Yeah.
I get frustrated with myself when my muscle. I'm not like the best at video games. I'm the kind of person
You
that
really
a game can be. Shut up. A game can be. Although because of playing GTA 5, going back and playing Red Dead, the controls are the same, so my muscle memory's there.
I mean, same publisher, same developer.
Yeah, exactly. So like my muscle memory's there, but it takes me a lot longer to develop a muscle memory than I think most other people with playing FPS, because I realize the more games you play, the similar mechanics. So I think there was a time where I was struggling just because I was like bouncing between like GTA San Andreas, which has a completely different controls, and I was playing these Rockstar. I was playing LA Noire, and so like my muscle memory is getting all mixed up. But now that I've been playing, just going from GTA 5 to original Red Dead, and the control system are still the same, I feel better playing it. It's not that it's never a reflection of the game being poor. It's just me getting frustrated with just being terrible.
Man, you would hate to play an SMT game then. Just the difficulty is just crazy. You just get frustrated, throw your controller at the screen.
Like I would never attempt like playing Dark Souls or anything.
oh, Dark Souls. Yeah, I remember my brothers playing that for a long time. It never looked fun to me. It looked like
maybe you just suck.
No, because I never
Get good.
I never played.
Yeah, just get good, man.
I never played it.
Not that kind of.
I never played it, but I watched it, and it was like I watched my brothers manically mashing the buttons.
Oh, because he was playing Death Soul. That's supposed to even be like. That's notoriously even.
Wait, what?
Death Soul.
No, there really is a game called. There's Dark Souls, and then there was like, I swear to you.
I don't know. Dance of Death, perhaps.
You mean,
I don't know.
No, I'm not. I
well, look, we all know I only play like maybe one or two video games.
No, there's Bloodborne, but I swear to you, before Dark Souls, there was a game still by the same developer called.
Are you thinking of Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2?
No,
oh,
there's Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3. Now I sound like I'm saying dark holes if you start saying it too fast.
You gotta pay the troll toll. You wanna get into this boy's hole?
Yep, I was setting you up for that.
There you go. But yeah, no, I mean, you all know me. There's only
I might be
there's
wrong.
only 2, 3, maybe 4 video games I'll play.
Was I right?
No, I'm not finding it.
Oh, shit. No, I swear to you, there is a game.
Okay, I believe you.
You mean Demon Souls?
Demon Souls.
There
Actually, now I remember that.
I'm like, there's just the first word is different from dark. It's something death or demon. There you go.
Death or
Souls.
demon.
He's playing Demon Souls.
Oh boy.
And that's supposed to be even like the learning curve on that is like supposed to be even like be the greatest of all of them.
Oh, it's great.
I have a quick question for you, D.
What's up?
Jeez. Okay.
What's up?
I didn't know this was the Inquisition. Sup, bro? Imagine that being the Nuremberg trials.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Herr Goebbels, sup? It's like, oh, well,
Go on.
you're pretty lax about this.
Don't forget
so,
your
having played
Right.
having played both the Red Dead games, which is your personal favorite? And I'll put this as context.
Red Dead Revolver, the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's your favorite?
Yeah, I actually like it. Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of a bias because I played that before I played Red Dead.
Huh.
So
I didn't even know this game existed, Red Dead Revolver.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
no,
so
it's the
like
original.
it's like a spiritual successor to
Precursor.
Precursor. Yeah. But I mean, to answer your question without being a smartass.
Yes.
I enjoyed Red Dead Redemption 2. I think it's bigger world. I like the story better.
The story you think is better?
Yeah.
Even
Well,
though it's the same story?
I don't want to spoil it for
Apparently.
everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't
But-
do that. I mean, I can't. I mean,
When you get to that second part, I think it ends there. That I like that part of the game, that story.
okay. All right, fair enough. I mean, as I was going to say, actually, give me a lend of it again, if you wouldn't mind. I'll actually give it an honest go this time.
Interesting. Okay.
I'll try it. I'll try it. It was just it was too big. Games where it was like, okay, learn how to shoot a gun. Well, that was easy. Okay, now you got to climb a ladder. Not a problem. And then it's like, okay, shoot from a horse, but do this.
Let's
do this with the.
go.
And it's like, oh, well, wait, what? Hang on. Oh wait, I'm supposed to. He died of dehydration. I was supposed to fill a water canteen. What the fuck is going on here? I don't understand this anymore. It's getting too crazy. Right, so let's move on. We have a couple of topics that we want to.
What was that?
Oh, no.
That sounded like a spring just broke.
No, I just hit the desk. I'm sorry. So, a couple of quick topics. We'll try to get through a couple of these.
Let's.
So,
See what you got.
the big news, obviously, in the last day is Joe Biden. You know, the thing, the Build Back Better guy. By the way, Brittany, you had the best reaction of anybody I've ever seen.
Well, I saw
when you heard that.
I saw an actual campaign ad for his presidency, and I didn't realize that the whole "Build Back Better" was actually his campaign slogan, because I thought that was just some other like bizarre interview he had where he was tripping over his words like an old senile man. But that's like legitimately his slogan.
Yes.
Build back better. And I did sit there on the couch and go, build back better? Build back. What the fuck does build back better mean? That is just a senile man's version of like, make America great again? Or we're gonna
Build back better.
Is that like
Better.
Kofefeve?
I don't even know what that's about. What that was that whole.
Oh, it was just a tweet that he was trying to text. So he was trying to type out coffee and it came out kofefe or something.
Kofefe. That sounds like a.
Autocomplete, autocorrect strikes again.
Yeah, or somebody south of the border who's very into the drugs. Go see my kofefe.
No, it was.
My jefe kofefe.
Oh my god.
Ah, shut up. Of
Go
course.
drive off a cliff.
All right. And over we go. But yes, so he's obviously he's chosen his VP, his vice presidential running mate.
They've had disagreements in the past.
Kamala Harris, yeah.
Yes. Kamala, whose name, interesting fact, in Finnish means the language Finnish, not the things on the back of whales or sharks. In Finnish means terrible or horrible. So her literal name is Horrible Harris in Finland. Not that she's ever going to go to Finland. In fact, she might bomb them. That's the literal translation.
Is she
what?
Finnish?
No. She's Indian island, like Jamaican. She's Indian Jamaican, and she descends from slave owners who had Irish slaves. I want my reparations. By the way, I'll be looking out for my check. Thank you. But of course, for the very progressive Democratic Party, their front runners and the presidential candidates right now are an old white man and
that's like already saying like, oh, I only will be president for the first term, right?
Even.
There's like something weird like
Well, we'll
already
get
like
into that.
establishing.
So what we have here is an old white
He's
man
so goddamn
and a
old.
cop, because of course Kamala Harris was a DA in California. So, you know, this is just the weirdest thing. We're living in the era where old white men have to be cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
And also where cops have to be defunded. So that's what we have running for president against the current incumbent. So, yes, I'm bringing back to your point earlier. The fact that...
But all black people will vote for Biden because you're not black if you don't vote for Biden.
This is true. You ain't black if you don't vote for Biden.
I never did understand the whole binary thing. Like, if you don't do this, then you're against us type of deal, you know?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. If you don't do that, well then...
Then you're an enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's not any other factors that attribute to
If you don't kill
my
a man,
choice.
you ain't American. It's like, okay,
Me
no.
and corn pop.
Corn pop.
And the kids down by the pool rubbing my hairy legs.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I like cockroaches. I like kids. Or whatever he said.
But
I
it's
can't
like,
unsee that video.
I still can't believe that Build Back Better is his... Because I really thought that was just like Biden said something silly again. But no, it's like his official, like, Make America Great Again or Stronger Together or... Wait, didn't like Hillary Clinton like change her slogan in the middle of her campaign?
To like, I'm with her?
No, yeah, it was from like I'm with her to Stronger Together or something.
Yeah, Stronger Together. I think the hashtag was I'm with her.
Yeah, at first.
Kamala Harris's, by the way,
changed it.
was... well, I mean, apart from being very good at bending on one knee, hers was bend over faster. Because she fucked herself. She fucked her way to the top in politics. There was not a dry dick in California,
Oh god.
and not a penis that couldn't find a nice warm hole to call a home.
Allegedly.
Well, no, I mean her nickname apparently was Heels Up Harris. So yeah,
Heels behind her head.
I mean, I'm not begrudging it really. I mean, Sarah Silverman fucked her way to the top, and God willing, in another life, back when she was actually funny and kind of cute, I would be one of those guys.
She looks exactly the same.
Actually, that's kind of weird. Sarah Silverman does.
She hasn't aged.
Well, she's aged probably where it matters.
Oh,
It's like,
God.
open your legs.
Come to me, and then come in me.
Oh my god.
So when she
you.
opens her legs, it sounds like when you open up an ironing board.
Ironing board, yeah.
3 witches
I was going to
from
say the
Macbeth.
gates of hell, but okay.
Little demon pops out.
Double, treble, boils. Just boils. She has
my God.
herpes.
What is she, like a fucking Disney witch boiling a pot of
Yeah, exactly.
her magic?
Hello, my pretty.
Ugh, let's not get too harsh on her. She's harsh enough on herself as it is. She's a self-loathing comedian. That's hard enough, I suppose, to live with.
So moving on.
So moving on. But before we do move on, has anybody any thoughts on this? No. Nobody has any thoughts on this powerhouse running for president, the
No.
highest office in the land. You have no thoughts.
Yep, but no.
Oh, okay. I understand. Pussies. D, any thoughts?
Moving on.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Of course, just making sure I didn't press anything out there. Talcum X had a Sean King. His nickname is Talcum X. Isn't that great?
I didn't know that.
He's the guy who pretends to be black, but he's very clearly white to advance. It's
Wait, was he the guy
He's
that was fronting the
Black Lives
whole,
Matters,
Oh, the
BLM?
the Chaz the
no.
what,
That was
chop
that was the
thing,
SoundCloud. That was the SoundCloud.
Oh,
SoundCloud
SoundCloud rapper, yeah.
Yeah. What was his name?
Capitol Hill's Autonomous Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, did that last long. They were autonomous forever.
Anyway,
Still going, but Talcum X, Sean King. Yeah, he showed a couple of very interesting hands to play. Yep, that's him. That's him.
oh, he's here. Welcome.
Hi. Take a seat, Sean.
Hello, boys.
No, that's not him. But he wrote this tweet back in November 14th, 2018. I'll be frank and tell you to... wow, I'm bad at this. I'll be frank and tell you two Democrats that I am 99% sure I won't be supporting, primarily because of their dismal history on criminal justice reform over the course of their entire careers. Joe Biden, ampersand, Kamala Harris. They both helped build and advance mass incarceration,
Yeah.
which is true. The 1994 crime bill and Kamala Harris's horrendous record
Yeah.
of incarceration
So
in
he said that,
California.
yeah.
So he said this, but this is what he followed it up with yesterday, thinking that the internet somehow forgets. He says this, well, that's it for me. I'm incredibly proud to see a brilliant black woman and and HBCU grad chosen as vice presidential nominee. I've done political work my whole life. It's rarely things dreams are made of. Kamala Harris is the most progressive VP nominee in American history.
Wow.
Wow, right?
Yeah.
Talk
okay.
about...
That
I mean,
kind of is self-explanatory.
I believe the word you used is a thong. That's quite a thong.
Quite a thong.
Flip-flop. Thongs, flip-flops. No? Okay. We'll get it.
Wow.
Props for the idea, but poor execution. Anyways, so basically he had said one thing prior, and then he had made another statement that contradicts his
2 years
view.
ago.
Yeah.
2 years later.
I heard it put a very good way on with
Because you're.
Tim Pool. It's like you put an opinion up, and like the left wing are going to be like rah rah rah, and then they're going to be like, but you put another thing up, at the right wing you're going to be like rah rah rah, and then you can play both sides and hope that nobody else ever sees the tweet. Of course.
I mean, nothing's ever good enough. That's
Well,
why.
it just
Yeah,
shows you how
exactly.
much like maybe the difference 2 years makes as far as like.
That's true. Maybe he did have a change of opinion.
Need to,
yeah.
but I don't think it's that. I think it's he's been educating himself more, but really he's been just brainwashing
Oh
himself
please,
more.
he's
by,
a white dude who
because
runs around
right
pretending
there,
to be Malcolm
that,
X.
That first tweet sounded from 2 years ago sounded like he was actually delving into facts. The second one is just kiss ass, like, just pure. We hate Trump.
Bowing to the mob. Yeah, that's what everything. All of this is about is hating Trump. Being
'Cause
so
how can
blind
those-
that you are ready to burn everything down, and which they're already doing. Burning down a country in order to get rid of this guy because Orange Man bad. That's
There's-
really it.
Basically, what I'm trying to say, there's no reality where those two things exist. There's not
Yes.
two truths there. Either one's not true and the other's not.
Well,
The
there's only
first tweet-
only the truth.
that either the first tweet he got his misinformation, or the second tweet doesn't sound like it's based in facts. It's just like
How he
this
really
is-
feels, yeah.
Yeah, it's more
Tell me how you really
You
feel.
can see one's like they're both emotional, but one's
Oh, that was just the emotion in my voice. Sorry.
no. One's they're both emotionally driven, but one
Yeah.
kind of delivers like a fact, and the other just like I'm so happy right now. I don't know.
Why would you be happy? I don't understand it. Anyway, so we'll move on to the next one. Jamie Lee Curtis, I think, has finally lost her goddamn mind.
What you do this time?
Well, it's right here. She thinks Trump, in broad daylight, no less, is kidnapping USPS mail trucks to influence the election. And
Kidnapping? Like what do you mean, like stealing?
Well,
Like carnapping?
if you'd like to see this picture, let me preface this with the picture before I show you the picture. This is what Jamie Lee had to say. I swear, in broad daylight, the driver of the red truck had a red cap on with white letters. Conspiracy? Outright attempt at stealing the election by denying the access of the USPS? Let's not let it happen. At Joe Biden. This is the picture. Let's hope nothing disconnects.
Huh.
Dee, do you want to tell me what you see there?
I don't know, maybe. It's a lorry carrying a mail truck.
That's a USPS truck. Have you never seen one?
I know what the fuck a USPS
Yeah,
truck
because you
is.
already
Why did you
said
say?
it was,
Did you say did you say mail truck or
Yeah.
milk truck?
I said
No,
mail
mail.
truck.
Oh, I thought you said a milk
because
truck.
you already established.
Jesus Christ.
We already have the context that it's USPS truck.
I mean,
I
maybe
thought he was asleep.
the
It broke down.
yeah, maybe it's like I don't know. It's so hard to make a assumption from an image that I'm only seeing now. What's the context to
Also-
it?
The context is what I read.
Yeah.
Well,
that-
that doesn't give the whole story.
These trucks are being kidnapped by the president.
Also, I could tell you
that's
there's
the context.
Also, I
Dee.
could tell you there's a much easier way.
Yes.
You don't have to steal a whole USPS truck to steal what's inside of it that you're concerned with.
This is very true, and
I mean, it could be for servicing or
No, that's
that's
exactly,
exactly
what it
is.
There's no way.
Oh,
that-
she thinks that there's
She-
mail in there.
no, she thinks it's being stolen by the president.
by the president's people.
Look at the face.
But
on
then
him.
again, I don't know. It could be a joke.
Oh my
No,
God.
I don't think this is a joke. I think she's lost her
that could-
goddamn
It could be a
mind.
joke. I could
Clearly
be,
looks like it's being on its way to get serviced. It
I
has
could-
no wheels.
I could be a. I
No,
could.
it does.
Oh,
They're
does
just,
it?
I could
they're
joke
just in the
about
shadows.
that. I would make a joke like that.
Great first comment here though from the great Pat Oates, comedian.
What do
Now
you
I
say?
wish she died in the first Halloween.
I would have loved it. I would have loved if there was a tweet from just like a random
done, Pat.
bystander who tweeted out Jamie Lee Curtis rear ends a truck carrying.
would've been
USPS
better.
truck.
She was trying to take a picture. She posted this tweet right before she crashed into the back.
Using
of
your
this.
phone
Yeah.
whilst you're driving?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what
You
I'm.
driving with your phone?
Yeah.
Isn't that a felony in California?
Yeah, she's on her phone while she's driving.
Was she on the
Because
stoplight?
that light is
Very
green.
awful.
It's not red.
Well, there is no light.
No,
That's
there
the
is.
thi-
No,
there
you
is?
just cut it off.
Oh, okay.
Scroll
maybe
up
there
and
is.
you'll see. She's starting to drive through a green light.
Oh.
She took a
Jamie
picture.
Lee Curtis, huh?
Yeah, Halloween. She great
Greatest
fucking
tits in Hollywood.
great fucking tits. Great fucking tits. Have you ever seen Trading Places? Do
Yes.
you remember the tits?
You remember the tits?
Oh my
Do
God.
you remember the
Okay,
tits?
I remember.
There you
Okay, now I
go.
know what you're talking about. There you go.
Very good.
There you
we
go.
got there,
We
D.
shall never forget.
D,
And
remember
I'm a
those
straight
supple double
I mean,
D's?
I'm a straight woman, and I have to admit.
Wasn't she in True Lies
Yes.
with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Do a dance for me.
I like to watch.
I like to watch.
She was also in Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan. Let us not forget
Oh yes,
that.
I remember Lindsay Lohan. Ma'am, you've done it again. You've changed bodies with me. I'm hulking now. Oh, wait, that wasn't Freaky Friday, was it? I just saw her and Schwarzenegger kind of had a kind of a Danny DeVito type deal with him. Wait,
What the fuck are you talking
wait.
about?
Who am I thinking were always in movies together? Schwarzenegger was in a few movies with the same people, wasn't he? Yeah, twins and
Yeah, DeVito. Twins and
what else was he in? Oh, pregnant guy.
that
wasn't the name of the movie. It wasn't
is-
pregnant guy. It was
that is twins. Well, no, not twins. Not twins.
The one where he's pregnant.
I know what
Shit.
you're talking about.
I don't know.
Pregnant guy.
Wait, Arnold Schwarzenegger was pregnant?
Yeah.
Mommy,
I'm pushing a baby out of my coach.
I know. Oh,
kindergarten
fuck.
cop.
I was progressive.
What was that movie?
I know what you're
Junior.
talking about.
Junior. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an odd movie.
Yeah, that was like, that was way ahead of its time when you think about
What year
it.
was
Culturally.
that?
94.
94.
Okay.
That's great. But, jeez. But of course, I did have to make the point, as you might have seen by the quote, the old method of treatment for people in this condition was to throw them in jail. That's the old way you had to deal with such absolute lunacy. And now we move on to some entertainment news. Really wish I had this ready, but I didn't. And I still don't. Wow. Let's try that. Entertainment news is brought to you by nobody, because we have no sponsors yet. Please sponsor us. We're desperate.
Yet. Sponsored by NordVPN. No, I'm just kidding.
Sponsored by North NPV. Sponsored by Southern HPV. I don't have it. Do you? Sponsored by AIDS. It'll get you skinny real fast. Ugh. Boo. Right, so Blazing Saddles is to be remade as an animated samurai movie about
Wait,
cats
what?
and dogs.
What?
Yes, apparently this is going to be a thing.
Who is it from? A Western animation studio or is it a Japanese?
Well, wouldn't that technically be very Western? I mean, you just keep heading west, you're going to hit the Japan land. The Japland. The Japan land.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
you know what I'm
talking
saying.
about. Yeah, it's...
Why? Why would you remake this into an animated movie?
I don't
Why?
know. And the worst thing about it, I think the worst thing about it is that Blazing Saddles, as we all know, was a very,
It was a very racial movie.
very cleverly, comedically lampooning race relations in the Old West.
It was a commentary for back, it was a comedic commentary of
yeah, exactly.
Race relations.
yeah, back
Exactly.
then.
So what better way to do
Very
it than...
like a Richard
so,
Pryor kind of type of.
well, yeah,
shit.
he wrote it. He wrote it.
Wait, so how do you portray that with cats and dogs?
Well, you can't, because they're not race, it's species. They're two different species, so they've missed the fucking nuanced point of race relations, and now we're moving on to
So
species
what is
relations.
this, like Zootopia
This is-
2?
Oh my god.
It's may as well... It's may
That's
as
what
well...
Zootopia was trying to do. It was trying to make racial
With
commentary.
different species.
Yeah.
That's missing the mark completely then. They would have been better off remaking Independence Day and having the aliens be like, we're all going out for ice cream. It's like we hate each other, we love each other. Now we're out of the spaceship.
I just hate the fact that they made a second one.
An animated
Independence Day?
samurai?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking like, I was like,
Oh,
do we-
independent.
I was like, do I not know of another Blazing Saddles?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that sounds really depressing. Moving on.
Well, it is depressing, and I mean, of course, now that like everybody apart from Mel Brooks is who had anything to do with that movie is now dead. That's a cheerful thought. Everybody, I think, who had anything to do with that movie is now dead, apart from Mel Brooks.
They wouldn't want to see today anyway, so it's okay.
I'm sure Mel still likes that movie. He's got to know what a great like cultural.
No, I mean they wouldn't want to see what today is like
Oh
anyway.
no. Gene Wilder, I think, was the last one to go. I know Cleveland Little died
Yeah.
not long after it.
Yeah.
And Richard Pryor died, what, late 80s, early 90s? In and around there?
Yeah.
And that was,
Don't know.
God knows when any of the others fucking died. Harvey Korman. Harvey Korman was great. Headley Hedley Lamar.
The sound editor is still alive. I've heard.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's lost his hearing. And that's
Bill
unfortunate for him.
Paley.
Bill Paley.
I just made up a name.
That's
Because I
terrible.
just think it's crazy. You could make a blanket statement of like everybody that was involved in that movie is dead now.
Well, it's like the cat. You remember
Fact
the,
check.
you,
The main
Please.
cast, yeah.
I know what you mean, though.
But
We
you
know
remember
what
the
you
whole
mean.
thing, like the cat on the poster, hang
Yep.
in there, baby, copyrighted 1966. That cat is long dead.
My God.
That's a bit of a downer.
That's from The Simpsons too. Simpsons did it first.
It is, yes, very true. You are right. I will ring my Simpsons bell.
That cat's
There it is.
probably dead. That's depressing.
But did you know there was a Blazing Saddles TV show?
No, I did not.
Oh.
It was written,
Oh, well, it never
produced,
aired.
shot, like
uh,
seasons
wait,
of it.
When you wait,
Like
not
and never
not
aired.
just the pilot.
No.
How is
like
that?
an
That doesn't usually
That
happen.
doesn't make sense.
That never happens.
It was down to
You maybe film one season.
let's see.
then-
Not even. If you're. If it's.
Well, don't you have to pitch a pilot? Well, I mean,
Yeah, you gotta have to have a pilot. Things either make it past pilot or they don't. I don't understand.
Well,
maybe funding got
that's
cut.
the thing. It was never aired. It was a contract bluff to try and make Mel Brooks, well,
Look like an idiot.
no, to try and get him to produce a sequel. It was called Black Bart. Was the pilot.
Oh.
Television pilot
I've heard of that
titled Black
character
Bart was
before.
produced. Well, yeah, Black Bart. Bart was the main character of Blazing Saddles. That was the name of the sheriff.
What
His name was
year?
Bart.
What year was this produced?
1975. The pilot was aired once in 1975 and was never seen again. Starred Lou Gossett Jr., Steve Landisberg. Talk about your nobody names.
No, those aren't nobody names.
Who's
Especially the
Steve
first-
Landisberg? Well, Louis Gossett Jr. We know,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Right.
But allegedly, from what I understand, it was a full season, fully written, produced, shot, acted, everything.
Yeah, but how much was shot? That's what I want to know.
The whole season. Like there was a whole
So
season.
one season was shot. Okay, that makes sense.
I believe it was. I watched a documentary on it recently, and I don't remember exactly
I'm
what it
trying
was.
to look this up. Blazing Saddles TV show.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole it ran for 4 seasons. It ran for 4 seasons, and it was never aired. The whole thing, I believe, was that
Can you buy it on VHS or DVD? How do they make money out of this?
They didn't. It was basically it was a contract thing. From what I understand, it was a contract thing
I
to
don't
try
know what
and
that means.
force Mel Brooks to make a sequel. Mel Brooks was steadfast against making a sequel to Blazing Saddles. So there was some loophole that said that. Let's see. Here it is. At the time, the Warners wanted to make Blazing Saddles into a comedy series of films, a new one coming out every year or so. They wanted to use the model that the Brits had used for the Carry On films, but Mel Brooks had a clause in his contract that said Warner had to keep producing Blazing Saddles stories in the movies or TV, or they'd lose the rights to make sequels. So the TV show was their way to keep the rights. But that doesn't mean the TV show was ever aired. They literally made this so they could keep the rights, because that was in Mel's clause. So they were making this shit in hope of making a franchise of movies, which thank God never materialized. From what I understand, the TV show was absolute dog piss.
Well, yeah, it would be if it was just all if it was all phony for like, why would you put any effort into something?
Well,
like
I
that?
suppose, I mean, when you're
Samuel L.
You
Jackson's
wouldn't.
gonna be on the animated movie
on the...
Blazing Samurai.
Blazing
Oh,
Samurai.
no.
So apparently,
Yeah, that's what it's
Blazing
called.
Samurai is the name of the animated remake.
Yes.
And Samuel L. Jackson is in the film, as well as.
Do you think he says motherfucker?
Ricky Gervais? I hope so.
You motherfucking dogs coming into our town. I don't know, something like that. Jesus.
Oh my god.
God.
I wonder what animal he's gonna be.
Are you a Star Trek fan?
Yes.
Have you heard about Lower Decks?
I showed
I don't
him.
want to talk about
He
that.
doesn't
I
want to
know,
talk about it.
exactly.
I showed him the.
I'm not even a Star Trek fan, but even I'm appalled by it. I know enough about Star Trek to know that like that is like just
I showed him the.
enraging.
I showed him the advertisement for it, and I videotaped his reaction. And like at one point, he just went. He literally turned into your man in a hardcore. It was like, turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. He was literally like, oh, turn it off. Turn it off. And at one point, he just goes, what the fuck? He was horrified by it.
I mean,
I don't blame him. I'm not a Star Trek fan.
As not a Trekkie fan, I still understand the pain.
Oh, absolutely.
You must be experienced.
No,
It
it's
looks
bad
awful.
because I don't speak for all Trek fans, and within the
Mm.
Trek community, everybody's kind of divided.
Yeah.
Especially with Discovery and Picard.
Kirk.
I think aren't very good Star Trek shows.
Who's your favorite captain?
Deep
let's make
Space
this.
Nine,
Let's
a lot of
D.
people,
Let's
yeah.
make this official. Who is your favorite captain? Do you like the original Captain James T. Kirk?
I refuse to answer. 'cause
What are your
you
favorite
can't-
seasons?
Or do you like
I mean,
the
do you
more
like original
contemporary
and-
Picard?
You can't just make a comparison between like all.
Yeah, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Five of them. It's just
Pick
it's too
D.
many.
Pick me, D.
I don't know.
I'm bald.
I like Cisco, I suppose.
No, pick me. I overact and ham it up at every opportunity I have. Come on.
That's just a caricature
I know.
of a caricature
I know.
when you do that.
I know. It's supposed
It's
to be.
equally as bad as your Tony Montana.
I'm not doing a Tony Montana right now.
Good, thank God. Anyway,
I have no
Anyways.
reason to.
but
Anyways.
if you're familiar with like Red Letter Media and how much Mike and Rich Evans are fans of Star Trek, even they don't want to touch Lower Decks.
They don't want to touch Lower Decks. I know they don't.
Jay was like, because
That
Jay
makes
was
it
like,
sound
are
like
you
a-
gonna, you're not going to talk about that? I was like,
Nope.
nope.
That sounds like a sex act. They don't want to touch lower
I know.
decks.
I know they're not big fans of Picard and
Oh, they're not
Discovery
fans
as
of Picard.
well. Neither am I. I had high hopes for Picard.
Yeah,
I
think they did too.
You
I think that's
actually.
why I think that's why they devoted so much time to review it because
all-
they're just like,
we all fucking did.
please. Yeah.
Wonderful comedy. Speaking of remakes and reboots and continuations of love stories from bygone years, Dirty
talking about
Dancing
love-
is getting a sequel,
The music's never gonna be the same.
I've never seen Dirty Dancing.
and
It-
neither shall you because I'll never watch it again.
If you-
Why? It broke your
Because
heart?
it
It
was-
tore your heart out?
Fucking, it was.
It made you cry? It made you
No,
question your
I
sexuality?
hated it. Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Well, let me put it this way. The only good thing about Dirty Dancing was Jennifer Grey, back when she had her schnoz. Then she got that schnoz removed. I have no interest in seeing it. Patrick Swayze is dead. This is going to be a Dirty Dancing ghost crossover.
I
Patrick
forgot.
All we
Swayze's
fucking
dead?
need now
Swayze's
is
dead?
Demi Moore, Whoopi Goldberg, and a corner for Baby to go sit in. That's all we need for this sequel.
I don't think it's gonna work because the music just isn't gonna be the same.
I've had.
That's true. Even if you've never seen the film, you know the major songs from
Nobody
it.
puts Baby in a corner.
And you know
The
the
time of my
one-
life, it's not gonna work. It's one of those films that don't deserve a sequel.
It's kind of one of those movies that happened at a certain time in your life, and
Wait, can you rephrase that? Like that they don't deserve a sequel. But like a sequel is just not wanted. Like not
Yeah.
warranted. Like,
It's
is that what you
it's
mean?
unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's like why would Footloose need a sequel? It's something like that.
Yeah.
It was merely a product of its time, and that plays
Yeah.
into the what made it
Yeah.
great. You're trying
Yeah.
to.
I hate when like they're trying to basically like capture lightning in a bottle again. You can't do that twice.
no, you can't.
It's one thing if a movie builds up some type of lore.
Yeah.
Having something, like Star Wars, where it's like, the first 3 movies kind of gives you that lore. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of get trying to expand the franchise, but if you're having like a one-off film like Footloose or Dirty Dancing or Blazing Saddles,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that really
Yeah.
merits a sequel. Like,
Yeah.
Well, you see, here's D.
I-
This is where you get your mistakes wrong.
Why is Alex
Because
Jones
when
here?
when these movies make
It does kind of sound like Alex Jones.
Oh my god.
What do you
It's
mean it
supposed
does?
to be-
That's
no.
exactly what you're doing.
No, it's not. I was trying to do a big cigar chomping executive.
No.
you see, we put these movies out.
Money.
We have no expectations in them.
We have no expectations.
We make them below.
We
We make them for
know
low
what the
budget. We
point-
make them for low budget.
Well, not
and when they make the
always.
money back, we need to make that happen again. It's capitalism, my dear boy. Capitalism. That's how you make your money. And I'm
Although-
sick of them turning the goddamn frogs guy.
Anyway, we know why. We know why they do it.
Since
We
I
know
was going
why-
Alex Jones, apparently I
we
didn't
know
mean
why-
to.
We know why they do it, but but should they? Just because
No,
you can,
no,
should
No,
you?
no, no, definitely
also-
not. Yeah.
Jaws.
But also
Look at
it's-
Jaws.
No,
Great movie. A shitload of shitty sequels. The second
back
one
to
is
Jaws
okay.
again.
You'll always be fucking back to Jaws of you mother.
Going back
fucker.
to franchises though, like Star Wars, I think I was actually watching a Red Letter Media where they kind of mentioned that actually it's funny we've all been led to think that Star Wars is like this huge universe.
Yes.
But it is.
But like it is, but I don't know, they kind of made a point that they're like actually it's really simple. It's like
Okay.
almost then that's where it's been to its detriment that it's actually simpler than like it's been stretched out to be. Like I don't know.
I don't know.
They like in passing and I was like I've never thought about that way that like Star Wars, just think about it. Take the time to think about like Star Wars might be smaller than you think.
Kiss.
Like the story
Keep
and
it simple, stupid.
The story and the concept and like what made Star Wars great is a lot simpler than what Disney's tried to stretch it out to be.
Well, Star Wars is basically.
I'm saying this just as like someone who's like regurgitating what I heard from people that
But Star Wars is simple.
notoriously do not like the prequels, have had issues with the sequels, but still have.
I mean, I
love
suppose
for
like
the
for the original
original
trilogy, yeah.
That like if you have a love for the original trilogy, it's kind of a way to explain to yourself why the prequels and sequels don't work for you.
Well,
I think it's because the story is so much simpler than it is. It's like that's been fan built.
I mean,
honestly.
I
agree.
To name all the goddamn things.
Look, I mean,
in, like,
Star Wars is a very,
lore
very
and
simple
the
thing. It's
universe.
It's a tale of
It's a space opera.
It's a tale of love, action. It's a spaghetti western in
samurai
space.
What
and
the
a samurai movie.
the hell is that?
That was an
Samurai.
echo. D.
Never do that
cowboy.
I mean, I can kind of get what they're trying to say for the original trilogy, and in some points I agree. But then again, I'm one of those expanded universe
You like
fans.
the expanded
I
universe
love
guy?
I love the prequels. I love the expanded universe. The
No, I
books,
like a more
comics,
narrow
the
focus when it
games,
comes to my media, personally.
I mean I like all the world building, all this other external media has attributed to the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah.
You got like Knights of the Old Republic, you have Republic Commando, the Clone Wars series.
I think the issue with the world building in Star Wars might be where other people might have concerns with it is that it hasn't been from one voice. I think that's where
it's always been a collective effort.
Yeah, I think that's where
Well, I
it
don't
can
know if it's
get
been a
really
collective effort.
Yes, it totally
Well,
has.
no,
been.
I mean George
and
Lucas.
that's where it can get
George
sloppy.
Lucas ruled over it for
Well,
many years.
he has to approve the EU stuff at one point.
Yeah, but I mean, when he's raking up the money now and has no actual real creative heart in it anymore, I mean, he's already been seen to be like, oh, what did I do? And what have you done to my baby?
See, this is why I think that
These are questions he should have been asking himself around the same time the Phantom Menace came out. Oh, what
Yeah, I
have
know,
I
right?
done? What have I done to my baby?
I mean, see,
you know?
see, this is why I think
I kind of like the plans he did have for Jar Jar Binks though. Wasn't he supposed to become a
Racist
Sith?
stereotype.
Like that character was supposed to be developed where he'd become a Sith.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why
yeah.
I believe that Dave Filoni will save Star Wars.
Who?
Moving on, Dave Filoni. I mean, you're not a fan, so you wouldn't know. So Dave,
okay.
Dave
okay,
Filoni.
no,
Enlighten-
I'm good with that.
enlighten
I'm
us,
good,
'cause
I'm
I don't
good
know
with that.
that
No,
name
don't
either.
enlighten me. I'm fine.
No,
I'll tell you what, I'll turn off my headphones.
I'm somebody that did grow up with the original.
Yeah, and you
Star
just
Wars,
love
and I
Harrison
loved him.
Ford.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, who didn't?
Yeah.
Wow. Hey.
Han Solo was
I
the
thought you were a
cowboy
Chewie fan.
aspect.
He was.
Han Solo represented the spaghetti western inspiration.
He was the cool guy.
Oh, please.
Yeah,
Han
he-
Solo. Han
Luke-
Solo only ever represented masturbation to me when I was growing up.
Wait,
Han
what?
Solo.
I love Harrison Ford. Who's the one that loved Harrison Ford?
No,
growing
it
up?
was
You
always
did. You were masturbating to
always
him?
the one I always wanted to Leia. Ugh.
I think you
Oh,
just-
no.
Okay, moving
I think
on.
you
Let's
just-
move away from the Star Wars.
moving on.
What
Let's
the
move
fuck
away
did you
from
just
the
do to
Star
yourself?
Wars.
No, please enlighten us. Say this, Dave. Frackin.
Dave Fracken.
So moving on.
Moving on. Do you want to read the next one out, D? You look like you want to read the next one out.
So apparently Metallica is gonna perform a drive-in concert. What the fuck does that mean?
A drive-in concert is exactly what it sounds
Well, a
like.
drive-in movie, you do it over your radio.
Yeah, and
So you're just gonna have a
big
bunch of
screen-
cars parked
Yeah. Are you ready?
and just listen in the cars?
I can't hear you.
Is it gonna be like
You want to be the guy who turns up in the old timey car?
For some reason, I'm getting flashback images from Cars, where they have that
Oh,
very
yeah.
age inappropriate
they
scene
flash.
where the groupies go up to Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, they're literally flashing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, how is that going to work?
I know how it works.
Is this going to be a new thing?
It's like a drive-in movie.
But
But you're gonna have less people though.
Yeah.
It's like the cars are just much bigger.
yeah, and you're just going to be sitting in your car headbanging when you could just literally have it like in your
And
CD player.
Yeah, and I bet the sound quality won't be as good.
And you'll be paying $70 a pop, probably.
Sounds pretty
Can you
stupid. I
imagine
wouldn't
trying to
do it.
leave?
It's not worth it.
All
Oh,
that cars trying to leave.
Oh, because
Oh, yeah, with all-
my gosh! It's like the worst part of going to a concert when you
Hey, you
have
think
to
that's-
leave the parking lot.
You think that's bad? You should see the mosh pit.
Oh my gosh!
Somebody in a monster truck.
They have the little dirt rally in the middle.
Yeah.
The cars just like running,
That's
driving and
actually,
hitting themselves.
honestly, that's actually probably something they should be concerned about.
the mosh pit's getting out of control. Well, what do you mean? Well, destruction derby.
Yeah.
Somebody turned up with a monster truck.
Yeah, exactly. The monster truck. They got like.
Oh, it's just driving all over the cars,
They're
just
like-
on top.
Crowd surfing.
Okay, I have to admit,
Surfing.
as somebody who, well,
Crowd driving.
No.
no,
just
as somebody who
over
grew
the
up
top.
in Arizona, and I remember as a kid, it's
God
nostalgic
damn.
for me to
Oh,
see
that's good.
those commercials like this weekend at the
This weekend,
Monster Truck Rally Arena. We have
Bigfoot. He
Yeah.
will drive over everything. He will drive over your soul.
Do it for the kids.
I've always wanted to, and then they would have like the big T-Rex thing, like the
Truckosaurus.
Carnageosaur.
Truckosaurus or
Or whatever.
Carnosaur. Carnosaur. Yeah, very good.
Carnageosaur.
Carnageosaurus. But a good question is, are Metallica still going to open their sets with Creeping Death? Is that
I don't know. Maybe.
is that appropriate for current year?
Speaking of creeping death.
Shouldn't they open with Imagine there's no heaven?
Oh,
It's like, imagine James Hetfield singing that.
I don't think.
Yeah, imagine there's no heaven. Yeah.
I bet you have anything that are just gonna try and be cathartic.
Easy if you try. Yeah.
Oh god.
Lars on the drums. Go faster, James. I want to go faster. Ugh, fucking Lars Ulrich.
Why are you bumping your mic away? Anyway, speaking of creeping death,
Oh,
um,
the bubonic plague.
Italy. Oh yeah, actually mentioning the plague. Italy has actually been repurposing and using
Condoms?
the old world architecture of those little wine windows.
Oh, so they
Oh,
can
yeah, yeah.
they can sell the wines.
Yeah,
I've
so
seen those. Yeah.
so instead of it being like in the 1620s or whatever when they had the plague ravaging there, that's how they would sell. That's how they would still sell wine by reducing the contact. And now-
Mamma mia, we
Now-
wanna die of the plague, but we got to get our vino. We got to get
Yeah,
our vino. Let's
but that's-
build the little windows. Da Vinci design us a little window.
So
My
that's part of their
God.
that's part of their contactless delivery over in Italy.
Contact. Well, it's. I mean, okay, it's kind of weird. But I mean, it's kind of great to be utilizing that old timey tech again. Like just
Old
but
timey tech.
It's a hole in a wall. It's a glory hole that wine comes through.
The wine hole.
It's a wine hole. It's a wine hole.
Glory wine.
Anyway,
Glory wine.
That's basically it. Just thought you guys might be interested in
Ornamenta
that.
sanctum dida, glory to the wine.
Oh my God.
Di vino, di sanctus and the somenos samenenos, samenella.
Amen.
Amen. And he wrapped him in the swaddling cloth. That was actually something a priest sang at a mass before,
Yeah,
and
he's very
myself,
sing-songy.
my brother, and I were just dying laughing at that one. I think that was the day I quit the Catholic Church. It was like, okay, singing priests on
After
Christmas.
that, after seeing that,
Well, also being touched, but
I was gonna say singing priest
I
was
was
Elisa
touched, but I
Yoris.
went. I was touched, but I went by no angel. I'll tells you.
oh my god.
It was by Father Mac. I'm pretty sure I molested him. I don't know why I wanted him.
That shit goes both ways.
Yep, out of his ass and up my urethra.
The Catholic Church.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Oh! Oh! Thank you.
Damn.
I really hate how much you stuck your tongue out when you said thank you. Thank you.
Oh my god. No, that was just a horrible thought. It's like a human centipede, only.
Is there ASMR with
Rapey.
people with lisps? Hey, thank you.
You said I didn't have a lisp.
You don't have a lisp.
I don't. I don't, or I do. Make up your fucking mind, woman.
No, you never have. I don't know where you get this idea that you have a lisp.
All right. Well, let's move on to final little piece here. Little wow picks. I think I picked two for myself and Brittany. The film Bone Tomahawk and the film Predestination. Brittany, would you like to do a little bit of a little bit of a synopsis on both?
Well, one's easier to describe than the other.
Mm-hmm.
So Bone Tomahawk, I watched because they
No
mentioned,
spoilers, by the way.
They
No
mentioned
spoilers.
it. They mentioned it on Red Letter Media enough. I was actually talking about this with a friend the other day. Bone Tomahawk, as somebody who's watched a lot of gory horror thriller stuff, I'm somewhat desensitized. This is actually like, oh, I just experienced something new. That's gonna stick with me for a while.
Brutal.
So there is a scene in it where, because of just everything, the setup, the context, the sound in this film,
Sound design is great.
The sound design
Really good.
makes it so visceral, like no pun intended, but like
Where does it take place?
it's a Western film with came out in 2015.
Yeah, it's a couple of years
With,
old. That's someone. That's someone.
It's
Dean's
with,
looking him up on his phone as we
Kirk
speak.
Douglas as an old cowboy.
No, Russell Kirk. I mean,
Russell. Kurt
it's not
Russell.
Kurt
Kurt
Russell.
Russell.
Kurt
Jesus
Russell.
Christ.
I'm sorry, Kurt
Kirk Douglas. Isn't
I'm
he
sorry.
dead?
Kurt Russell. My bad. Sorry. For some reason, I don't get them mixed up, but I get
His
their
name was
names
Kirk
mixed up.
Picard.
Anyway, Kurt Russell, and it's basically a classic Western film mixed with cannibal type of film, kind of somewhat exploitation kind of
Troglodytes.
shit. So there's
Troglodytes.
there's an exiled small group of Native Americans that are ravaging some parts of the West.
If you were to put a genre on it, what would the genre be?
It's very genre. Western thriller,
Adventure.
adventure. I would also say, like horror.
Absolute horror. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was very uncomfortable
I would say
watching it.
supernatural. There's a supernatural element to it too, but it's like still very grounded in reality.
Yes, more so than I thought it was going to be. But then again, I didn't see the whole troglodyte position come along. And the build to it, it's a gory movie. It's rough. It's very grounded in realism. It's gritty. It's gritty. It kind of feels cold, even though the atmosphere of it is very, very cold and very real. There's no warmth. Even the cinematography is very cold.
Even
kind
the
of
sound
just
design, everything's very dry and crackly.
Dry. That's So that's one for you. Bone Tomahawk. D, have you ever seen that one?
No, I have not, but that's really interesting.
That's. I think you'd enjoy it.
recommend it.
You're. Well, actually,
I went up to, I think it was like an Apache Navajo death cave.
oh shit.
That's near Flagstaff, and
Yeah?
the whole story was I can't recall it exactly, but there was like two Native American tribes that were warring, I think, and one tribe raided a village, and then so the people from that village kind of like retaliated, and the raiding party like kind of hid into a cave or something, and they had hostages from the village, and so basically they like killed a bunch of their horses or something like that, and they the tribe who was like outside the cave like buried the tribe in the cave with the carcasses of the dead horses and burnt them alive. So
Damn.
basically they all died in the cave or something like that.
God damn.
So, and to think that happened like almost 1900, so like 18 something, you know, which is, you know, like less than 200 years from now. You
very
know?
very recent history. That's crazy about like how.
Think about it, you know.
This world, the old West, is really not that old.
No, it's not.
It's creepy.
Well, I mean, America's young.
America's young, yeah. I mean, like, but I mean, there's a romance about the old West, and actually, I think that's kind of one of the things that Bone Tomahawk kind of does capture very well. The romance of the West going very wrong. very quickly because it's like
That shit like that
It's
did
like,
happen back then
Well,
as
we
well.
did
yeah.
bring civilization out here, but there's other civilizations up in their damn hills that are trying to eat us and
Right.
kill us and other things.
No, I think
such
it.
as
No, I think
And
it's
it's-
more of like. I don't think it romanticizes at all. If anything, I think it.
there's a romance to the actual town of Brighthope. There's a slight romance to the town of Brighthope. Everybody knows each other. They're trusting of each
just-
other.
It shows
It's
you how
community.
harsh.
It's community. And when it starts going on, you get out into the wilderness, and then it's a case of like,
No, they
That's
but
when
they,
it starts
but
to
they
go-
do have very they have like what would normally be like all the characters are like characters you've already seen before, but they really round them out and flesh them out.
yeah. It's not the greatest Western of all time, which in my opinion, I think is Unforgiven. In my opinion. I gotta go between Unforgiven and Once Upon a Time in the West are my two ultimate
Yeah, I
Westerns.
wouldn't even call it a Western. It's like
I would.
It's a thriller like set in
That's
like,
just set
the out
in the West. Yeah.
Okay. I can go with that. And
That's not predominantly what it is, because I guess you can argue like what a Western's because like classically a Western is like man with white hat, man with black hat, and they have a like you know what I mean. Usually it was like that
Harmonica.
was very simple,
man with harmonica, man with steely
good
blue
versus
eyes.
evil type of stories.
No, I don't know. Unforgiven being one of the best westerns ever made. My
Yeah, but
personal
that's a
favorite.
like neo-Western. That's not really.
No, I think it's just a
Are we
more
talking about like westerns that are made like in the 60s type of deal? 60s,
like those are
50s?
spaghetti westerns.
Yeah.
You know, like Revolver Ocelot would like. But
You're pretty good.
you're pretty good. You're pretty good. This is the best handgun ever made.
6 shots
Well, because
Enough to kill
I
in
love
the
shoving a greasy bullet into the chamber.
of a well-oiled chamber.
Well-oiled chamber. I think you have problems with your gun there, Ocelot.
it's like
My hand!
Cool, this will be a shitty plot device in the sequel.
Anyway, the second movie, Predestination. I'll take the reign on this one. Brittany, nicely handled. I will commend you with applause. The second movie I think we watched was again, Brittany, your choice. This one I think I preferred slightly, just slightly. But then again,
Really?
slightly. I really liked Bone Tomahawk, but it was at times like, oh my god!
Yeah.
It was a little bit like that. Predestination, Ethan Hawke, and something snooty.
Tutti Frutti?
I think her last name is
I
like
don't know.
Snoot.
I don't know that actress. Name.
I'll look it up
but
here.
it's really funny because
but-
because after seeing that film, I saw her in two other things like the next day. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
But yeah, it was a really good film. It's a great. It's actually probably
This came out around the same
it's-
time. Was this 2015 as well?
yeah, 2014. But
14, yeah.
and Sarah Snook. I wasn't far off. Have you ever seen it, D?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. I've seen trailers.
Highly recommend you watch it.
I know it's like a time travel
Yeah.
film.
Yes, and it
I
is
love those.
honestly one of the best
good.
best handled time
good.
travel stories of all time.
Oh, better than Bill and
That I've
Ted?
seen. Whoa.
Ooh, talking about time travel though. Go, sorry. You finish. No, finish
but-
the predestination.
So,
and I'm gonna throw out one
so
more next.
Predestination stars Ethan
Ethan
Hawke,
Hawke.
Sarah Snook, time travel film, but the twists, the turns, the story, very, very heartfelt at times.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like ridiculously well. You really, you actually do care for these characters. The way that it progresses, and it is.
It keeps your interest the whole time.
It keeps it glued, honestly, and it's just one you got to watch. I can't really give too much away here about the
No, you
story,
can't.
but they're towering performances from everybody involved. It is from a movie that I thought would be kind of a low budget kind of shit thing I was going to watch, and I mean it's low effects, it's low-fi in a lot of ways, which makes you kind of appreciate some of the special effects that happen,
Right.
even though they're very low scale. It's not like that fucking thing we were watching. What you turn on that night? Epoch.
Oh, that was just a goof.
Yeah, we still watched 40 minutes of it, and I
No.
wanted to tear my eyes out of it. I felt like that. I felt like that.
Talking about low budget, that was a TV movie, like made
Yeah.
in like.
I felt like
It was
that
basically a rival, but like made for TV in like what year did it come
early
out?
2000s.
Like
Had to be
early
sci-fi.
to mid 2000s.
But anyway, so
Anyway.
Predestination
The
and
early
Bone
2000s
Tomahawk.
the early 2000s had some pretty good sci-fi movies. Minority Report.
Yeah, but I mean, this is not
No,
made
this
for
is
TV.
a made for TV movie.
Oh,
Not made for
never
TV.
mind.
There you
back
go.
when like
Renege on that.
because remember like made for TV movies like aren't really a thing anymore.
This is true.
Nobody watches TV.
So,
But also no, like
maybe sports.
TV is like the same quality as film now in a lot of ways. Like when you watch
In a lot of ways.
Netflix.
Well, I mean, Netflix films are actually really, really good.
yeah.
some of them, not all of them. Some
Well, I
of
mean,
them.
like, you know,
In
just
the beginning,
the
they were like
progression, you know.
unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like everything, you're like, oh, I'm gonna watch this because it's a Netflix original. It's gonna be good. Anyway, sorry.
some of them. No, you were going to. So
Okay.
yeah, basically those are our picks. Predestination, Bone Tomahawk. Give them a go. You might like them, especially you, D. If you haven't watched them, watch them both. Highly recommended. Get the popcorn, get the beer, snuggle up on the couch, and watch some terrifying shit, and then prepare to be touched by a Catholic priest. So, Britt, what were you going to say? You were going to say? Yeah, I knew we'd
one
get there
of
in the
I
end.
think one of the best time travel movies. You really will have a hard time understanding it, but
Looper?
no,
Looper was
no,
good.
no.
I
No,
like Looper.
Looper's good. Watch oh my god.
Back to
now
the
it's
Future.
escaping
Dude,
me.
just seeing all the limbs just disappear.
Oh, that's
Just
fucked
these,
up.
you know, like, you know what I mean?
Primer.
Primer.
You've seen Primer?
Never seen it.
It's an independent movie, but it is so good. I would watch Primer and then don't be afraid to like watch it. Then watch London City Girl Explains Primer, and then you're like, oh, it's so good. It's like the most high concept time travel. Like the most like this actually I could believe this being real.
Is
like
the
how
one where they
time
crawl
travel.
into like a cardboard box or something?
Yeah, like they can't like run into their other track.
Like it only like takes them like a certain way
Yeah.
in the time. You know, you can't go forward and back. You know.
Yeah, and the funny thing is they're like engineers, and I think like on their off time, just in their garage, they're trying to make their own like semiconductor or something. So like they mistakenly create a time traveling device.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I
like
think
you
I've heard
can't
about it.
time travel past the activation of the device or something like that.
Yeah.
It you know, for all you people out there, you know, time travel fans, everybody knows that certain movies and certain franchises deal with time travel in different ways.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you have your Back to the Future time travel.
DeLoreans.
Where, you
The
know,
different rules.
yeah, like where
Every
you can change
film has
things.
to establish
yeah.
their rules because time travel, as far as we know, is not real or possible. So.
Well, I just time
But
traveled.
check out Primer. It's a movie that doesn't. It does not hold your hand. Like you're kind of like a fly on the wall the whole time. So, it's very high concept. You have to really like sit and just try and like, you just feel like a fly on the wall. There is no explaining it to you or any exposition in it.
Very good.
It's very cool though. I've been wanting you to watch it too, for a while.
Okay, dokie. I think that's
Primer.
going to do it for the show tonight, folks. Thank you very much for listening to the West of Waterford podcast, starring Josh, Brittany, and Dee. Folks,
Goodbye.
thank you very much for joining me. And as Dee just said, goodbye.
Bye.